Good Thursday afternoon. I am going to hold this with two hands. I went to aquatherapy today. It's Thursday, and it went fairly well. I was able to not get too short of breath in there. I had a scary episode last night where I could not catch my breath. I think my myasthenia gravis is flaring up, and it affects your diaphragm muscle, and when that happens, that muscle gets weak and you can't catch your breath and you get very short of breath, and it can be very scary and not a good thing, because it is known for people with myasthenia to go into respiratory crisis where their diaphragm just basically doesn't work well enough to get them the air they need. So things have been kind of wonky for me today. Last night was really rough. I know I just said today, and I'm going back to last night. Forgive me, but last night I ate some, soup and like a couple pieces of bread with that, and it did not work out very well at all. I got very, very, very nauseous, and I thought I was going to toss those, but I kept it down, thankfully. But I still have difficulty with this eating thing, and I don't know what's going on with my body. I mean, it could be anything, I guess. I don't know, but I'm thinking it's probably related to all the Ehlers-Danlos in the pots and things like that, and like blood supply not getting to my stomach, or my stomach being like weak or partially paralyzed, just from the Ehlers-Danlos and things not working right with that. And that's what it feels like, but we'll see. I'm still trying to figure all this out. I have not heard from the doctor at all yet. So still no IV fluids. I haven't heard about Mayo. I haven't heard anything about my blood work. I've heard zero communication from her. So I might call her this afternoon. I need to, in fact. I had a strange thing happened to me while I was out today, on my way home from therapy. I don't go to town often, so when I do have therapy, I try to get as many errands as I can done on that day, because I don't go into town. It's hard on me to drive all over. So I was doing my errands, and I was on the way to my last errand, and I had an episode of like distorted vision, very distorted vision and dizziness, and I couldn't pull over because I was right in the middle of traffic. That was a little bit scary, but I made it to my destination very thankfully, and so I pulled over there, and I waited a little while for it to kind of straighten up, but I'm still having some vision issues, and a little bit of dizziness, but it's not as near as bad as it was while I was driving. But that was a little bit scary for me. So since that's kind of a new symptom, new to me, not new right now. I had this kind of happen to me, not to this extent, but when I was in the hospital at one point, and my vision was so distorted, like eyeballs were where your chin is, and your chin is where eyeballs are, and people's faces were very distorted, and then I lost my vision for 24 hours. So I don't know. I think they figured that happens because my autonomic nervous system dysfunction. So my autonomic nervous system doesn't seem to be functioning very well right now. It's doing some weird things, and so yeah. So anyway, I need to call her and probably update her with that new symptom that I had today. So hopefully I find out something with the other things that I was there for, and I get some help. I really need something. I don't know, but anyway, right now I'm just going to try to take a nap, drink my protein shake that I have, and hopefully that goes well, and just rest right now. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. That's my little update for you this afternoon. So I decided to not post the vlog that I had created. It was very negative. I was really upset in it, and I cried, and I don't like to show that stuff. I know that's typical sometimes with chronic illness, but I don't always like to be that vulnerable, I guess, on there. And so I'm just gonna make this quick video about kind of what was going on. So my doctor called back and said she doesn't know what the issue is. She suggested I take a laxative. And obviously, you know, things are doing what they're are doing. Like, I have slow motility, especially right now because I can't hardly eat anything. And so, yeah, I'm taking a little bit of magnesium, not a lot because I can't with my myasthenia, but I don't want to take a laxative per se. She had nothing to say about the thing I had going on with my visual disturbance and the hold on just a second. The dizziness I had. She didn't have anything to say about that. I asked her about, and that was actually the end of the conversation, so I actually had to ask her about the infusions, and she said she didn't want to order them. I guess it was going to be easier for me to just go to the emergency room to get an infusion because the infusion that I would need for my POTS would take about 8 hours, and so I don't know. And just whenever I felt like I wanted it to go to the emergency room. Well, I don't really want to go to the emergency room unless I really have to. She was supposed to set this up in an infusion center is what she had told me she was going to do. That changed. She also told me she was going to call Mayo Clinic and set up a consult for me. I asked about that. She didn't mention that, so I had to ask about that. So they said she decided she'd rather have me do it. Apparently patients can call and refer themselves, and I guess they can get in quicker because they don't have to wait for all these medical records or something. I don't know. So I was on the phone for an hour today with Mayo Clinic. First part of the conversation was very discouraging. The specialist that I wanted to see with the GI stuff, they told me they had no openings. I asked if they had any openings like later. They said, no, we just don't have any openings. We're not taking anybody for GI right now, like indefinitely. So since that's kind of what one of my main issues going on right now, I was like, okay. So there was no reason to go and just go up there, drive 7 hours to see an allergist for the other thing that I have going on with the mast cell stuff that's possibly going on. So I was really upset and discouraged because I'm really not getting any kind of help, and she's kind of doesn't know what to do. So the lady at Mayo said maybe they can get me in a different avenue, which would be to go through their general internist thing. I don't know what to call it. Where they just kind of look at everything, even the stuff that you're already diagnosed with. They just go through all this stuff, and that might be a better way to get in, because at least I'd be there, and then they could potentially, then those people would refer me to a GI. Apparently there would be an opening if you do that. So I gave them all my information for an hour, and she said that they will let me know within 3 days if they'll even accept me. They may not even see me. So it's really discouraging, and I felt really defeated today. And my last vlog that I made was a hot mess, and so I didn't really want to put that one up. So I'm trying to just do this one a little bit better, a little more put together, a little bit more not as cheerful. So needless to say, I'm like really discouraged because I have no treatment still. I don't know, if I can even go to Mayo, and if I can't, then they're gonna have to have someone here see me, and apparently she doesn't think there's anyone that would really see me because of all my issues that I have, and they won't understand how, why my stomach is involved because of my Ehlers-Danlos and the POTS and stuff like that. And so, they may, like she did, she just said, take a laxative. I'm like, nobody really understands it or wants to deal with it. So all I can do now is just do what I can, eat what I can. I'm really weak. I'm still really short of breath. As you might have saw in the beginning of this video, I could not take a deep breath at all, and I was starting to feel off. And anyway, and that happens with my myasthenia gravis. Because I'm not eating very much, my nutrition levels are awful, and so I'm not getting enough nutrition. I'm getting weaker, losing weight, and that's exacerbating my Ehlers-Danlos and my myasthenia gravis and my POTS, really. So I'm just kind of weakening right now, so I'm really hoping that they can get me in, and I should find out next week. If not, then somebody will have to do something here. I don't know. But anyway, I appreciate the prayers, and I just pray that you would continue to pray for me, and I pray for myself. And I just, right now, I need some peace and I need some comfort. It's really tough right now. I mean, these illnesses are hard anyway, but when they flare up like this, when like all of them are kind of flaring all at once and other stuff is going on top of all of that, it makes it very difficult, and I'm still in pain. I'm always got like a baseline of pain, and it goes up and just depending on the day and stuff like that. So I just have all this going on, and it's kind of hard. But I know that God continues to walk with me through this and is there for me. I don't really feel much peace right now, but I know it's not about how you feel. I don't feel His presence, but I know it's not how you feel, but it makes it really hard. So I just appreciate the prayers, and I'll try to keep you updated on, if I get into Mayo or not. And if not, like, what's the next thing? What are they going to do? Who's going to help me? I don't want to have to go, Minnesota's far, but I would be willing to drive 7 hours to see a ton of different specialists at once, so I can get that just over with and be treated, and just finally maybe be treated with stuff. My POTS is treatable. It helps relieve symptoms if you use infusions. You can get infusions, but it's a treatment. It's not just go to the emergency room when you feel like you need an infusion. It's not how it works. This is a maintenance thing that they do, but nobody wants to do it here. So maybe if I go to Mayo and they say, hey, this is something that you need to do for her, then they'll figure out what to do if somebody tells my doctor what to do. So that's what I'm hoping for. So anyway, I just appreciate the prayers, and please keep them coming. And that's all. I appreciate it. Thank you.